So, Sarah here. I don't know if this one's gonna get posted, but I'm gonna do it and we'll see. Yes, I'm wearing the same t-shirt. I love this top. Okay, so we are going to talk about a series. It's very well known, especially in the booktube community. So, that is The City of Bones series by Cassandra Clare, or better known possibly as the Shadowhunter saga, I think is what it's officially called now. Yes, so we're going to talk about my thoughts on this series, because as you'll have seen in my last video, I'm planning on reading the Clockwork Angel, and you're probably looking at me because, where's the thing? Well, I've dismantled it because, well, obviously this was at the bottom. And you're probably a bit confused by some of the comments I made there, so I thought I'd just address it. So let's start with how I first read this series. Now, it may surprise you, I did not read this because of BookTube or anything like that. When I first found this series, I was living in Tanzania, East Africa. If you don't know where that is, I would superimpose an image here, but I don't know how to do that yet. I have a little tiny globe. Maybe that will do it. So this is Africa. You see? That country there in green, that's Tanzania. Okay? So that's where I was. I was 12, and I was lent the series by some people we knew there, because they thought I would enjoy it, because they knew I really liked Harry Potter and that sort of thing. So like, hey, check this out, you might enjoy it. Well, they were right. I enjoyed it, but of those books, I think only City of Bones, City of Ashes, and City of Glass were out. So I only read those three. And if you've read the series, you know that when City of Glass ends, it feels like an ending. It feels like a conclusion. So I thought it was over. I thought it was done. I didn't realize there was more to it until I came to Australia and I was in the bookstore and I saw a book called City of Fallen Angels. And I'm like, that looks a lot like the City of Glass books. So I picked it up and found out it was that. It was part of the series. And I was like, okay. I wonder where this is going. So, as you typically do, you read the blurb, then you open the first couple of pages and start to read. And I discovered that despite leaving one, finally ending it, in City of Glass, we have yet another love triangle. Little known fact about me. Well, not little known if you actually know me, but yeah. I hate love triangles. They drive me absolutely batty. The worst one being in the Twilight series, because that was really pointless. But the one in the series also drove me batty. But that was probably because I really liked Claire and I really liked Simon, and Jace just annoyed the crap out of me. So. But to be honest, even when I was first reading this series, and Clary in the second book, spoilers if you haven't, was dating Simon, I didn't feel right about it. I was just like, she's not dating him for the right reasons. Simon deserves better than this. So why are we going into this? And then, well, that got concluded. There was some weird sibling thing going on. But it got concluded and I was like, yay! No more love triangles! Pick up Fallen Angels. What's this? Maya and Isabel are both kind of dating Simon. And because they don't talk to each other, neither knows it yet. And Simon, the sweetheart, there's absolutely no idea how to tell them without feelings being hurt. Well, I'm like, well, this can only end badly. I got up to the point where he was where he was starting his dinner with Camille. When I put it down in frustration, I was just like, yeah, I'm done. I was happy with my ending in City of Glass, I'm good. And then I gave in because I was curious and researched what happens in the rest of the books to decide if I could put my heart through that. I know, cardinal sin. What do you mean you didn't just read them? Well, I was happy with my ending in Glass, so if I didn't like what was going to happen, why read it? I could just delude myself and say the series ended then. I was suffering from traumatic flashbacks from little Max. I was devastated when he died. So if anyone else died, I didn't really want to read it. But no one else died from near where I could find out, but I did find out my favorite couple broke up. And I was just like, okay. Don't know if I want to read that. Because my favorite character in all of the books, in the TV show, the films, what have you, has always been the one, the only, Magnus Bane. I love Magnus. He's my absolute favorite. So I don't know if I really wanted to read him breaking up with Alec. I was just like, it's gonna really suck. And they were together and happy with that epic scene in City of Glass when they kissed in front of everyone, and I was just like, this is 12-year-old Sarah who was still warming up to the idea of liking romance. And she thought it was fabulous and fantastic and brilliant. So, that says something. And interestingly enough, this series was my first encounter with people who were gay or queer or anything like that. And I hadn't been told anything by my parents about that or anything like that. So I was just like, okay, another couple, cool. Why do I care about this? And then there was that old boat thing, and I love it. It's like, silly Nifim, why am I here? Why else am I here? And I was just like, okay. I was actually honestly fine with it. And then there was that funny scene in City of Glass when Jace is like, you don't love me. You don't. You love Magnus. He's like, look, I'll kiss you to prove it. And he did. And Alec's like, oh crap, I've made a mistake. And I was just like, okay, but they break up over something to do with Camille and Magnus's immortality. Did I really want to put myself through that? I decided no, I didn't. So I decided not to continue on, not to read it. I'd read other things like the Gaunt series. Interestingly enough, I don't think there was any love triangles from what I remember from that series. There were a lot of couples, but I don't think there was any triangles. Or if they did, they didn't last very long. But then they released a book, The Bane Chronicles. And it was just about Magnus. And I was like, and it was just after the film had come out, obviously, because of the cover. So that reignited my interest in the series, especially considering how irritated I got with the things they got wrong. Like, for one thing, Clary had the cup at the end of the film, and I was like, the F. She did not have the cup. And also, that was not how I pictured Jace, and that was not how I pictured Clary. She was far too tall. Either way, this came out, and I'm like, it's Magnus. I've got to read it. And so I bought it. And my favorite chapter in this will forever be the first chapter. What happened in Peru? So hysterical. Every time with the cactus. I'll do a proper review of my thoughts of this one, because this book deserves it. I love it. But I didn't realize until further on as I got that it would spoil things for me. So one of the things it spoiled was the Clockwork Angel series, which I was only sort of aware of as being a thing. I didn't really know what it was about, but that quickly told me. And then I discovered BookTube and Polar Bananas books and all of those wonderful things, and I learned more details. And I was just like, okay. So basically Clockwork Angel's been completely spoiled for me thanks to this. I know exactly what happens. I know who Tess ends up with. I know how Jen survives. I know a bunch of things because I read this. So, yeah. You can't really surprise me with that series. So, it'd be more me reading to find out how all of that happened. And how this Herondale is going to irritate me. Because let's get into that. So, Magnus was my favorite character. Who was not, apart from, like, the obvious, like, Valentine and Sebastian. If you like Sebastian, I'm praying for your soul. And I'm not looking forward to, because I'm going to do what Christine suggests and read this in publication order, which means after Clockwork Angel, I'm going to go immediately on to City of Fallen Angels. And I know Sebastian comes back in a big way, and I'm just like, yay. Woo. He kissed his own sister and knew he was doing it. So, I'm going to be dealing with him again, and the TV show has only made me dislike him more. I mean, I may pity him, but I still dislike him. So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to that, but this isn't what that was about. This was about Jace. So, first off, Jace is rude, okay? He is extremely rude. He is a jerk. He doesn't appreciate what he has, and he is reckless. He doesn't think before he does. Like when in the second book, City of Ashes, he goes to meet his father on the stupid boat, and then Magnus gets in trouble, and he gets put on lockdown, and I'm like, what did you think was going to happen? You managed to get away, and you immediately go and meet with your father, who they already think you're working for, and you got Magnus in trouble on top of this. I mean, Magnus was fine, because he's Magnus, he's fabulous. The number of times in this series he did something stupid and reckless. Sometimes he considers Clary's feeling, but he never considers anyone else's feelings. And I'm like, you have awesome siblings. Isabel, Alec, Max, while he was still alive, still sad. Forever sad. And you go and pull stunts like this. I don't like you. Probably going to need to reread this to remind myself just exactly what he did in the books and not just in the show. But I don't like you. Okay, I like you, but I don't love you, and you irritate me more than I like you. So, unpopular opinion alert. I'm not a fan of Jace. I'm a fan of Magnus, and Alec, and Isabel, and Clary. So, my favorite character is Magnus. My second favorite character is Clary. And a lot of you are probably like, but Clary's useless. She has an excuse, okay? She was raised a mundane. What's Jace's excuse for being an idiot? Oh, wait, he doesn't have one. So, I have complicated feelings with Clary, because when I was reading this, I identified a lot with her, except with her feelings for Jace. I felt like smacking her whenever they cropped up. I was like, you barely know the boy. Stop being so dramatic. So, I love Clary. I love what the show did with her, because they got her doing more training. She could have done with more research, but she at least did more training. I'm assuming that happens somewhere in here, but you never know. So, yeah. I have also read the Shadowhunters Codex in all of the notes inside, which doesn't have much spoilers, but I thought I'd just mention it. I've read it. Of course I read it. This gives me more information into the Shadowhunter world. You think I'm not going to read this? I devoured it. I've rewritten extracts. Literally, I've rewritten quite a lot of this into a different book, because I wanted to practice the ruins, and then I decided to write the information of the ruins, and then I decided I needed to write about the Downworlders, and I haven't written about the demons. Demons can go after themselves. So, yeah. I've written about the werewolves twice now, and maybe the vampires? Because I've got a different book that I'm doing for something else. I'll explain my book some other day. But basically, I am going... Where is it? Be reading this soon. I've gotten all the major things spoiled for me, but please do not spoil the Dark Artifacts or the Red Scrolls of Magic, which is my main incentive to read this. I will hunt you down somehow. Because I have already said this, I love Magnus, and Alec is probably my third favorite character overall. And that Red Scrolls of Magic, just about those two. So, but I have been informed that you need to know these books to truly understand it. So, I need to read these first. And they're all really long. So, it's going to take me a little bit. Especially considering now work has just gotten gigantic pile. I've got to do so much. So yeah, that's me and the Shadowhunter saga. The other thing is I love the TV show. I'm aware it's not just like the books, but at least they came out and admitted it wasn't going to be just like the books. So people getting butthurt over it. No, it didn't happen like this in the books. They didn't say it was going to. They didn't say it was going to be a carbon copy. Unlike the Harry Potter films, we tried to say it, but it wasn't. So, get over yourselves, build a bridge. You know what to do. Because they didn't say it. And so obviously it isn't, for one thing. Max is still alive. And Maurice is now awesome, and I love her. And I remember her being kind of annoying in the books. So that is me. Yes, with the Shadowhunter Saga. I'm looking forward to reading it. Because I did seriously enjoy the first 3 books. So hopefully I can rekindle that magic and enjoy these 2, despite the love triangle that I know is coming. But the difference is, with this one, I'm going to remind myself of a scene in the Bane Chronicles whenever I get frustrated with the characters. Because there's a gorgeous scene in this that just highlights their epic friendship and the love that they have for each other. And I'm just like, remind yourself of what happens in here, Sarah. It'll be okay. Breathe. Though, apparently, with Chains of Gold, it's going to be about their kid, which we meet in this one. Not thrilled about that. He seemed like an idiot. So, maybe, I think it's a Herondale thing. I think they're all just idiots. The other thing I'm not looking forward to is it does these awesome coloured images of characters, right? And it's saying there's a Gabriel Lightwood. And as far as I know, from Magnus, all of the Lightwoods, with the exception of the main current 3, if you count Jace or not, 2, Isabel, Alec, Jace, and Max before he perished, were all racist bigots. So, I'm sure he's going to be charming. I'm interested in meeting Henry Vanwell, because he works with Magnus on the mortal things. And also we get to meet his werewolf, Paramore. Basically, I'm interested in all things Magnus. And the other thing would be Icing King. I want to see how Tessa is, because I've heard she's wonderful. And I've been informed by a friend of mine that I'm going to love Jem. And she knows me well, so I must end up loving him. And I'm hoping Will doesn't make me want to bash his head over with this book too many times. I know the whole demon thing. Okay, I know it already, so I'm preparing myself to be irritated by that. You take the word of a demon? Do you have any brain cells? Hello? Anyway, I've probably waffled way too long about this for a series that I don't know enough about, to be honest, to have a true opinion. So, look forward to those coming. They will be coming, I promise. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed listening to me. Give it a like or subscribe if you did. And let me know down in the comments. Please do not spoil. Please do not. I've got enough spoilers for this series. Okay, thanks again, guys. I will see you next time. Bye!